Hello and welcome to a Star Citizen monthly development report going over some of the work Cloud Imperium games and their various studios have been doing over the last few weeks for Star Citizen's persistent universe and what they're now focused on in November 2023. I am omitting some information that is, we made cool stuff for CitizenCon because you can watch that stuff on my channel already. I'm going to talk more about what the general sort of developments has been and new features and stuff like that Cloud Imperium are working on. With various teams working on ships, we have the Crusader A1 and C1 Spirit, both reaching their end of final art. The A1 is currently in the live build of the game, 3.21, and the C1 is available in the current PTU build, 3.21.1. White box work for the RSI Polaris has increased as more artists were freed up from other projects. The team focused on the habitation areas at the front of the ship, working their way back to ensure that everything is set up and ready for design to make a pass. The exterior white box is nearly finished, with elements like turrets in progress. They also worked on changes to the Aegis Reclaimer to support structural salvage, that new type of salvage that's coming along, including altering the claw and interior salvage stations. A new variant mentioned recently continued through Greybox, with all vehicle components being added. Once these geometry changes have been completed, it will receive a damage pass. The team also completed a pass on the Crusader A2 Hercules to add relays for the resource network demo, as well as creating the relay assets itself. We do know that Cloud Imperium are planning to put out the engineering sort of demo at some point as a playable feature in an experimental mode in an upcoming patch. Don't know exactly when. Hopefully it's going to be 3.22 that tests engineering. The gameplay features team made significant progress on engineering gameplay as well, including the UI. They also progressed with structural salvage and are currently in the final phase of their vehicle tractor beam work. Vehicle tractor beams being tested in the current 3.21.1 PTU build. The economy team continued balancing the profitability for commodities for PYRO and Stanton, the wider game universe, I suppose. They also began reviewing and balancing the Alpha UEC prices of vehicles, identifying various criteria to help inform how they should be priced to better reflect their current potential. Similarly, they also started balancing the prices of armor using an algorithmic approach based on information pulled from live game data. Vehicle and armor price balancing feeds into the team's goal to holistically balance effort versus reward across the game and provide other teams with guidelines on how to price items in the future. Economy also supported other teams on gameplay features, including the tractor beam, salvage contracts, the profitability of loot found in vehicle wrecks, stuff like that. Now, we do know that the dynamic economy stuff is currently working in a closed system, and Cloud Imperium have paused sort of integrating it into game until some other features are completed. And in the meantime, they're going to be doing this sort of stuff with the economy that we just discussed, and then using that to help inform some of the dynamic universe and dynamic economy sim once more of like server meshing and the replication layer and all that sort of jazz is also complete. The mission features team have been working on the data heist mission, and this is actually available to test again in 3.21.1 on the PTU. The mission received its narrative pass as well, so all text is now complete, while various UI screens were brought up to the desired quality. They say an interesting addition has been the new dialogue sound effects, which the servers play to give players important feedback of their current cooling states. Servers can overheat and be destroyed, which can lose you that mission. You're sort of defending them, hacking them, then defending them from enemies that keep on spawning. Work continued on the Blockade Runner global event, previously called the Ninetales Lockdown, but this is going to be a bit better and be improved so it can be used in lots of different situations. With focus given to deciding which commodity is to be transported, improvements were also made to the scenarios that occur when a player is interdicted during the event, and important work on the event backend means it's now able to run and be scheduled better. Mission features worked alongside economy to accurately balance the cargo manifest seen in salvage, bounty, and assassination missions to ensure they don't break the economy. The steal and recover courier missions saw their first white box playthrough with the start to finish flow complete. The team are now switching to the polish stage and building variants. The ship trespass feature passed its go no go and was integrated for 3.21.1. The teams are currently investigating non-violent means to remove trespassers from ships. The vehicle features team improved improved the handling of ground vehicles across different terrains to make them more predictable, and tweaked various other ship systems to improve gameplay balance. A tuning pass began for various upcoming ships and vehicles too. They also continued their previously unrevealed work supporting PYRO, including new bombing run and destroy vehicle missions. These use a variant of the destroy items module used in the destroy drugs mission. The team also began setting up and implementing the Squadron 42 AI trait system that was shown off at CitizenCon. The updated Siege of Orison global event and new badges, new player experience are also in 3.21.1 being tested. Designs for future content also progressed. The Arena Commander feature teams, their focus has been on the development of multi-crew gameplay and spawn locations, adding features such as locking and unlocking vehicles for spawning and seat selection within vehicles. I am hoping this means that we'll have multi-crew as part of Arena Commander modes in Alpha 3.22. They also created a new game mode featuring master modes and added various quality of life improvements and bug fixes for Alpha 3.22, including a rework of the friendly fire system. Engineering also completed work on the solar flare hazard, which is around PYRO. You get lots of warnings. It's terrifying, and it's very blinding, and it lasts for a while. Design helped with all of that, and also created the custom lobby UI, made various improvements to existing UIs, and completed work on multiple new FPS and atmospheric flight locations. Another pass over all Star Citizen vehicles was done, which looked into hooking up seats and tags with information needed to enable multi-crew gameplay. For example, they updated scoring to account for multi-crew better, and better defined ship classes to include some that weren't previously featured due to requiring a crew to work as intended. A successful go-no-go was also achieved for various game modes and locations coming in Alpha 3.22. Again, I hope this is multi-crew gameplay and additional ships for Arena Commander. The locations team progressed with PYRO's rundown stations and added improvements to new Babbage. The sandbox team continued to work on PYRO settlements and the new underground facilities. Alongside this, the organics team worked on planets and some smaller features for PYRO. The narrative team, they spent time polishing AI behavior in the system to ensure its NPC population has the right look and feel. Additionally, they joined in on PYRO's internal playtests, where they helped spot and address last-minute bug fixes. The team also supported the release of Alpha 3.21 with new missions, items, and locations. Looking ahead, narrative dedicated time to future improvements, such as elevating how to improve the stability of the game's various mission givers, as well as long-term planning of additional future content with more narrative focus. The VFX team completed their work on PYRO in preparation for PYRO transitioning into players' hands. Interactables supported the new underground facilities, pushing the boundaries to create new and interesting props, and worked towards PYRO, helping to close out areas for dressing in multiple locations. The lighting team worked on closing out multiple locations across PYRO. Major R&D work was completed on cloud and fog improvements. It should be relatively noticeable in the near future. The character art team began work on a racing flight suit and its helmet. They also started new creature models. The animation team spent the last few weeks delivering facial animations for combat AI, including female combatants and various background characters. They also planned out the required actions for some new creatures. AI features focused on bringing AI combat functionality from Squadron 42 to the persistent universe for the Alpha 3.22 release by the end of the year. This involved introducing Squadron 42's accuracy calculation, perception reactions, ammo management, hazard avoidance, medic behaviors, and combat tactics. They've also ramped up bug fixing, which included improving firing validation to allow multiple observable points. This allows NPCs to fire at the player if they're behind chest-high cover. They're much more aware of what they should be shooting at and what will never land a hit. A new structure for AI combat dialogue and wild lines was implemented, and the flow of first reactions before combat when standing in a usable was closed off. The team continued to polish the retargeted animations for PYRO's female combatants and civilians too. The AI tech team continued to work on boids, which is sort of birds and fish and rats and things like that, and swarm animals or creatures or bugs, and the Apollo subsumption tool alongside optimizations and improvements for the wider persistent universe, CitizenCon, PYRO, all that sort of jazz. For the boid system, they began fixing issues relating to spawning and unspawning and moving properties for agents. They then iterated on and improved the rules for flying groups. They did a load of stuff, including making animations appear smoother, and the logic for spawning agents on navigation mesh was updated too. The next step for Boids is to iterate on death states and how they transition into ragdoll. There were server and other updates for collision avoidance. Conversations, behaviors, pathfinding, and general optimizations were made too. Engine and graphics team-wise, the physics team focused on delivering improvements to the Maelstrom destruction system and the sort of cloth and hair tech. They're continuing development of server meshing. They are actually a bit further ahead than the CitizenCon demo showed. The Vulcan sub-team continued tackling the remaining performance and stability issues, which all need to be addressed before a public beta test can be considered. And everything that you saw in that sort of engine demo at CitizenCon should be in our hands within the next 12 months. I believe Cloud Imperium are tweaking the video of the engine demo, adding some extra bits, improving it on what it actually looks like, and then they're going to release it on their channel again, and I'm very much looking forward to that. Boom! That's it for your Star Citizen Persistent Universe monthly update. I am very excited for Alpha 3.21.1 being on the PTU test, the PYRO tech demo being testable as well on the preview branch. We've got the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo coming up. I believe it's going to start on the 17th of November. That's my guesstimate on that. I think that's probably pretty accurate though. And then we've got 3.22 by the end of the year. We've got so much going on in Star Citizen. I'm interested to know what you're trying out, what you're excited by, what you're looking forward to. Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What is best in life? To crush your enemies? To see them driven before you? And to hear the lamentations of their women? No, of course not. It's NordVPN. I never saw Conan the Barbarian checking his bank balance and then watching some cool shows on Netflix, all while protecting his privacy and being super secure. To be honest, I can't even remember Conan wearing a shirt. Silly Conan. And now, a big old snake god's got your internet history. Good job. Don't be a Conan the Barbarian. Check out NordVPN. Links below for powerful discounts too. Every month we've been giving away a ship for Star Citizen, but for November, to celebrate the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo 2953, we are giving away a load of different ships, each to a different person. The Avenger Titan, the Drake Cutter, the C8X Pisces, the Mustang Alpha, and the Nomad. All great starter ships, but also useful for any fleet. They all come with a game package and lifetime insurance. That's all you need to start playing Star Citizen. That's 5 prizes and 5 chances to win. Just comment on any of my videos made during November to be in for a chance of winning. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that goes the extra mile in supporting the channel via Patreon or the join button under my videos and then becoming a channel member. Please consider joining those fabulous people as well. It allows us to make daily content for Star Citizen and Squadron 42, delving into all the news, drama, development info, and gameplay that these games have to offer. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the verse.